Okay, let's try this again. Good morning. It's October 17th and it's 4:35 in the morning. And I woke up with deeply troubled, and which is why I'm up this early. So I'm going to take this opportunity to share with you my process when I'm deeply troubled, which is to pray a lot. And I'm going to make use of certain prayers that I find to be particularly powerful and helpful when I need help. First is a prayer for protection by the Bahá'í. In the name of God, the Lord of overpowering majesty, the all-compelling, hallowed be the Lord in whose hand is the source of dominion. He createth whatsoever he willeth. By his word of command be, and it is. His hath been the power of authority heretofore, and it shall remain his hereafter. He maketh victorious whomsoever he pleaseth through the potency of his behest. He is in truth the powerful, the almighty. Unto him pertaineth all glory and majesty in the kingdoms of revelation and creation, and whatever lieth between them. Verily he is the potent, the all-glorious. From everlasting he hath been the source of indomitable strength, and shall remain so unto everlasting. He is indeed the Lord of might and power. All the kingdoms of heaven and earth, and whatever is between them, are God's, and his power is supreme over all things. All the treasures of earth and heaven and everything between them are his, and his protection extendeth over all things. He is the creator of the heavens and the earth, and whatever lieth between them, and he truly is a witness over all things. He is the Lord of reckoning for all that dwell in the heavens and the earth, and whatever lieth between them, and truly God is swift to reckon. He setteth the measure assigned to all who are in the heavens and the earth, and whatever is between them. Verily he is the supreme protector. He holdeth in his grasp the keys of heaven and earth, and of everything between them. At his own pleasure doth he bestow gifts through the power of his command. Indeed, his grace encompasseth all, and he is the all-knowing. Say, God sufficeth unto me. He is the one who holdeth in his grasp the kingdom of all things. Through the power of his hosts of heaven and earth, and whatever lieth between them, he protecteth whomsoever among his servants he pleaseth. God in truth keepeth watch over all things. Say, immeasurably exalted art thou, O Lord. Protect us from what lieth in front of us and behind us, above our heads, on our right, on our left, below our feet, and every other side to which we are exposed. Verily, thy protection over all things is unfailing. The next prayer I'm going to recite is a prayer by Bahá'u'lláh. It's called the Tablet of Ahmad. And it was his declaration of his station as the manifestation of God for this day. Or I should say it was a declaration. And this is a prayer that promises help. And it's a very widely used prayer by Baha'is. Technically, it's not a prayer. Technically, it's a tablet. Meaning that well, you'll hear it. You'll figure it out. It's a go-to prayer out of the hundreds and hundreds of prayers that Baha'u'lláh has revealed. He is the King, the all-knowing, the wise. Lo, the nightingale of paradise singeth upon the twigs of the tree of eternity, with holy and sweet melodies, proclaiming to the sincere ones the glad tidings of the nearness of God, calling the believers in the divine unity to the court of the presence of the generous one, informing the severed ones of the message which hath been revealed by God, the King, the glorious, the peerless, guiding the lovers to the seat of sanctity and to this resplendent beauty. Verily, this is that most great beauty foretold in the books of the messengers, through whom truth shall be distinguished from error, and the wisdom of every command shall be tested. Verily, he is the tree of life that bringeth forth the fruits of God, the exalted, the powerful, the great. O Ahmad, bear thou witness that verily he is God. And there is no God but him, the King, the Protector, the incomparable, the omnipotent, and that the one whom he has sent forth by the name of Ali was the true one from God, to whose commands we are all conforming. Say, O people, be obedient to the ordinances of God, which have been enjoined in the Bayan by the glorious, the wise one. Verily, he is the king of the messengers, and his book is the mother book. Did ye but know? Thus doth the nightingale utter his call unto you from this prison. He hath but to deliver this clear message. Whosoever desireth, let him turn aside from this counsel, and whosoever desireth, let him choose the path to his Lord. O people, if ye deny these verses, by what proof have ye believed in God? Produce it, O assemblage of false ones. Nay, by the one in whose hand is my soul, they are not and never shall be able to do this, even should they combine to assist one another. O Ahmad, forget not my bounties while I am absent. Remember my days during thy days, and my distress and banishment in this remote prison. And be thou so steadfast in my love that thy heart shall not waver, even if the swords of the enemies rain blows upon thee, and all the heavens and the earth arise against thee. Be thou as a flame of fire to mine enemies, and a river of life eternal to my loved ones, and be not of those who doubt. And if thou art overtaken by affliction in my path, or degradation for my sake, be not thou troubled thereby. Rely upon God, thy God, and the Lord of thy fathers. For the people are wandering in the paths of delusion, bereft of discernment, to see God with their own eyes, or hear his melody with their own ears. Thus have we found them, as thou also dost witness. Thus have their superstitions become veils between them and their own hearts, and kept them from the path of God, the exalted, the great. Be thou assured in thyself that verily he who turns away from this beauty hath also turned away from the messengers of the past, and showeth pride towards God from all eternity to all eternity. Learn well this tablet, O Ahmad. Chant it during thy days, and withhold not thyself therefrom, for verily God hath ordained for the one who chants it the reward of 100 martyrs and a service in both worlds. These favors have we bestowed upon thee as a bounty on our part and a mercy from our presence, that thou mayest be of those who are grateful. By God, should one who is in affliction or grief read this tablet with absolute sincerity, God will dispel his sadness, solve his difficulties, to remove his afflictions. Verily, he is the merciful, the compassionate. Praise be to God, the Lord of all the worlds. Excuse me for a minute. So now I'm going to share another of my go-to prayers in times of need. It's also written by Bahá'u'lláh. I should say revealed by Bahá'u'lláh. And it's called the Fire Tablet. In the name of God, the most ancient, the most great. Indeed, the hearts of the sincere are consumed in the fire of separation. Where is the gleaming of the light of thy countenance, O beloved of the worlds? Those who are near unto thee have been abandoned in the darkness of desolation. Where is the shining of the morn of thy reunion, O desire of the worlds? The bodies of thy chosen ones lie quivering on distant sands. Where is the ocean of thy presence, O enchanter of the worlds? Longing hands are uplifted to the heaven of thy grace and generosity. Where are the rains of thy bestowal, O answerer of the worlds? The infidels have arisen in tyranny on every hand. Where is the compelling power of thine ordaining pen, O conqueror of the worlds? The barking of dogs is loud on every side. Where is the lion of the forest of thy might, O chastiser of the worlds? Coldness hath gripped all mankind. Where is the warmth of thy love? O fire of the worlds. Calamity hath reached its height. Where are the signs of thy succor, O salvation of the worlds? Darkness hath befallen most of the peoples. Where is the brightness of thy splendor, O radiance of the worlds? The necks of men are stretched out in malice. Where are the swords of thy vengeance, O destroyer of the world? Abasement hath reached its lowest depth. Where are the emblems of thy glory, O glory of the worlds? Sorrows have afflicted the revealer of thy name, the all-merciful. Where is the joy of the dayspring of thy revelation, O delight of the worlds? Anguish hath befallen all the peoples of the earth. Where are the ensigns of thy gladness, O joy of the worlds? Thou seest the dawning place of thy signs veiled by evil suggestions. Where are the fingers of thy might, O power of the worlds? Sore thirst hath overcome all men. Where is the river of thy bounty, O mercy of the worlds? Greed hath made captive most of mankind. Where are the embodiments of detachment, O Lord of the worlds? Thou seest this wronged one lonely in exile. Where are the hosts of the heaven of thy command, O sovereign of the worlds? I have been forsaken in a foreign land. Where are the emblems of thy faithfulness, O trust of the worlds? The agonies of death have laid hold on all men. Where is the surging of thine ocean of eternal life, O life of the worlds? The whisperings of Satan have been breathed to every creature. Where is the meteor of thy fire, O light of the worlds? The drunkenness of passion hath perverted most of mankind. Where are the day springs of purity, O desire of the world? Thou seest this wronged one in tyranny among the Syrians. Where is the radiance of thy dawning light, O light of the worlds? I have been forbidden to speak forth. Then from where will spring thy melodies, O nightingale of the worlds? Most of the people are enwrapped in fancy and idle imaginings. Where are the exponents of thy certitude, O assurance of the world? Baha is drowning in a sea of tribulation. Where is the ark of thy salvation, O Savior of the worlds? Thou seest the dayspring of thine utterance in the darkness of creation. Where is the sun of the heaven of thy grace, O light giver of the worlds? The lamps of truth and purity, of loyalty and honor have been put out. Where are the signs of thine avenging wrath? O mover of the worlds. Canst thou see any who have championed thyself, or who ponder on what hath befallen him in the pathway of thy love? Now doth my pen halt, O beloved of the worlds. The branches of the divine lote tree lie broken by the onrushing gales of destiny. Where are the banners of thy succor, O salvation of the worlds? This face is hidden in the dust of slander. Where are the breezes of thy compassion, O mercy of the worlds? The robe of sanctity is sullied by the people of deceit. Where is the vesture of thy holiness, O adorner of the worlds? The sea of grace is stilled for what the hands of men have wrought. Where are the waves of thy bounty, O desire of the worlds? The door leading to the divine presence is locked through the tyranny of thy foes. Where is the key of thy bestowal, O unlocker of the worlds? The leaves are yellowed by the poisoning winds of sedition. Where is the downpour of the clouds of thy bounty, O giver of the worlds? The universe is darkened with the dust of sin. Where are the breezes of thy forgiveness, O forgiver of the worlds? This youth is lonely in a desolate land. Where is the rain of thy heavenly grace, O bestower of the worlds? O supreme pen, we have heard thy most sweet call in the eternal realm. Give thou ear unto what the tongue of grandeur uttereth, O wronged one of the world. Were it not for the cold, how would the heat of thy words prevail, O expounder of the worlds? Were it not for the calamity, how would the sun of thy patience shine, O light of the worlds? Lament not because of the wicked. Thou wert created to bear and endure, O patience of the worlds. How sweet was thy dawning on the horizon of the covenant, among the stirrers of sedition, and thy yearning after God, O love of the worlds. By thee the banner of independence was planted on the highest peaks, and the sea of bounty surged, O rapture of the worlds. By thine aloneness the sun of oneness shone, and by thy banishment the land of unity was adorned. Be patient, O thou exile of the worlds. We have made abasement the garment of glory, and affliction the adornment of thy temple, O pride of the worlds. Thou seest the hearts are filled with hate, and to overlook is thine, O thou concealer of the sins of the worlds. When the swords flash, go forward. When the shafts fly, press onward, O thou sacrifice of the worlds. Dost thou wail, or shall I wail? Rather shall I weep at the fewness of thy champions, O thou who hast caused the wailing of the worlds. Verily, I have heard thy call, O all-glorious beloved. And now is the face of Baha flaming with the heat of tribulation and with the fire of thy shining word, and he hath risen up in faithfulness at the place of sacrifice, looking toward thy pleasure, O ordainer of the worlds. O Ali Akbar, thank thy Lord for this tablet, whence thou canst breathe the fragrance of my meekness, and know it hath beset us in the path of God, the adored of all the worlds. Should all the servants read and ponder this, there shall be kindled in their veins a fire that shall set aflame the worlds.